Hello, beautiful soul. Lori Rising here, star channeler, transformational mentor, and sacred guide. Welcome to your new life. Ready or not, here it is. This is the revelation. This is the activation. How are we going to welcome it? And how are we going to co-create with it? Today, we are getting into the life changing, the earth shifting, the universe opening total solar eclipse in Aries. It is happening on April 8th, and the point of totality is at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time. It's happening at 19 degrees of Aries, and it's going to bring big permanent change to our personal lives and to the collective. And I say, we are here for it. This is what we've been laying the foundation for in the last 4 years. This is where we've been finding deep places of resiliency, of adaptability, of response, of inner resources, so that we can start quantum leaping in the collective from the energy that we are creating in our own lives. This is what we emanate out. This is how we shift the field all around us. This is how we work with energy far before it is physical matter. So this happens at the new moon, and it's when the moon actually eclipses the sun. The moon moves between the earth and the sun, and at the peak point of totality, it's going to be there for 4 minutes and 28 seconds this time. In 2017, it happened for around 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So this is almost double the reset and revelation. So if we think about what the meaning of this is, it's bringing the shadow to light, bringing the darkness into our full consciousness. Because so often we've been programmed in this space of fearing the unknown and being taught to disconnect and disassociate from our superpowers of emotion and feeling. And this is going to be the full unearthing of what's truly there. And how are we going to co-create with it? So even if you're not in the path of the eclipse, I invite you from 2:20 p.m. Eastern to 2:25 p.m., you allow yourself to be fully present, to be fully connected, and feeling the energies, tapping in, dropping in, connecting. This is one of the biggest celestial events of our lifetime. We're not going to have another total solar eclipse for 20 years. This one is crossing the path of the 2017 total solar eclipse in Leo. This one's in Aries. That one was in Leo. So much to get into. I really want to explore what's available in this activation. And now is a great time to actually look at your natal astrology chart. Many people will recommend that you look at the whole sign houses and see which house 19 degrees of Aries lands in for you, because that's going to be the environment of your life. I'm going to put a brief description of the houses below. There's a lot more that goes into them, but if you don't know anything about the houses, this will at least give you a little reference of what to be aware of around your experiences, and how the challenges and the resistance and what feels like the difficulty or triggers that are coming in are actually the invitations for you to do the work with them. They're not there happening to us. They're happening not just for us, but also from us, because we live in a reflective holographic universe. So if you haven't ever been in an actual eclipse, what it feels like is a little bit of apocalyptic energy, but I'm going to soften that up and call it reset energy. So it's like this full shift of life as we know it around us, to get very, very quiet and to receive, because the moon is the receiving energy. It's the feminine energy. It's the dark. It's the stillness. It's the consciousness connection beyond form. The sun is a masculine energy. It's external. It's illuminating. It's action oriented. It's the conscious waking life. And when the moon is eclipsing the sun, it's bringing the subconscious to light, to life, to awareness. So how are you going to set yourself up to be fully available and receive what wants to come through? Ready or not? That's what's going to happen here. I kind of feel into eclipses like a fault line, right? It's like they can continue to open and it can continue to get super intense and pretty wild in the energy. But then it's like once it opens, something's coming up from underneath. And it's almost like it opens this beautiful sacred reservoir that fills that area up, right? If you imagine that opening in water filling it up, it's like now we get to float and move through and expand and become buoyant in our response. So what's interesting in my private containers is a couple of my clients in one day talked about how they had these plans to be around people during totality, and suddenly either plans were changing or their internal compass was changing, and they were feeling different about that original energy, and maybe they wanted to be more present and quiet. And that just shows how important it is to be so present with ourselves and not be in states of distraction. So there's more to come on that as I come into this crisscross of Leo and Aries and how we're working with that. So stick around, because this is going to be a power-packed, very, very supportive transmission. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. I am so excited that you found us. Like I said, my name is Lori Rising of therawandwildhearts.com. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And if you are feeling hella supported, if you're digging my vibe, like this video, share it in your communities, share it on your channel, share it with just one other person, because it makes a difference. This is how we affect the energy, and that's how we change the reality. So if you want to know more about me and my programs and offers, just head over to my hub, like I said, at therawandwildhearts.com, or head to the links below. I have a lot in the descriptions, and there's extra for you today because I am offering a free guide to Thrive extravaganza today as we move through not just the big eclipse energies, but the big April energies. There is so much firing off and lining up that is going to create permanent change in our life. You're the one that gets to lead that. You lead your life. Nothing else leads it, but you can also be the resistance of the change and evolution that we came here to be as humans. So the guide to thrive, I have like at least 4, if not a whole bunch more offers for you to jump into. The first one is I was led by my guidance team to make one of my most popular meditations free. It's the Affirmations for Alignment and Abundance. It's 13 minutes. It is bomb. It's so good. And it changes people's lives when they commit and declare the belief in the transmission and the frequency of the words. It's not just being distracted and listening to the words, it's being deeply and heavily present and involved and believing in you as that energy. Check it out below. Number 2 is my Healing Light Bubble audio track. So there's going to be a practice. After you listen to the full track, timestamp the practice so you can come back time and time again. This, y'all, is how we work in the energy and how we change our reality. We've been going at it backwards for hundreds, if not thousands of years. We've been trying to force the physicality and override the energy. And that has caused a lot of dissonance and disconnection within our soul. This is where we've been so unaligned for so long and actually exhausted, overwhelmed, and miserable. So when you can start approaching the experiences in your life that create those resistance triggers and quick change in the light that is your medicine, that's part of this body that we're continually integrating. Oh, it's fun, it's exciting, and it's like magic when you literally see changes that you didn't have to force or push through. And number 3 is my latest free download, which is 6 daily hacks to raise your vibration quickly. These are things, y'all, that we have to be aware of, especially as we ramp up technology and toxins in this life. It is more important than ever that we get really intentional about these practices. So jump into that free download as well. And P.S., I've got my whole podcast and library of episodes. The last one is called April is Coming, and it's all about the 3 biggest energies that are showing up in April. So I'll get into a little more detail in that podcast. So listen to that after you're done with this one. It's on this channel. So back to this eclipse and how massive it is. I know you've been hearing about it. Everybody's been talking about it. There's also something else that's showing up in this space, not just that huge amount of time that we will be in totality, but also the Pons-Brooks comet, which is also known as the Devil's Comet, is making itself visible after 71 years. This is probably, for most of us, going to be the only time that we work with the comet in this proximity and this power, even though there will be some people that get to experience it twice in their life. And I will tell you right now that in my mastermind group, I was guided to lead us into an astral travel with the Devil's Comet, and it literally had me in tears, y'all. The power and magic of this opening within our soul and in our light body connection. It is so good. And I will just tell you, after we went through the journey together, I asked everyone how they were feeling. And one of the beautiful members came up, and the only words she had was like, "There's no going back." And I was like crying because I was like, yes. So the reason it's named the Devil's Comet is because sometimes the gases actually go off and they create 2 tails that look like horns. But I guess recently it's been photographed and it looks more like a spiral. And I'm like, of course it does, because it's coming in as a vortex for us at this point in our evolution, because we have ascended so much higher in our light bodies and our energy fields because of all of the work that we've been doing, y'all. So go us. What? Okay. Oh. So in the video, I am going to talk deeply right now about the Leo and Aries energies crossing and coming together in Carbondale, Illinois. And you know, your girl is pretty close to that area. So I'm probably going to be at the intersection of these 2 eclipses on April 8th. Are you going to be too? Let me know in the comments. And then I'm going to bring the astrology chart of the new moon, and I'm going to highlight the aspects that I'm talking about. So if you want to learn how to read an astrology chart, it's a great thing to stick around for. And I'll show you how to look at the houses. And afterwards, we'll bring in a card read from the guides. And these are always fantastic. They really actually do give us a heads up on the energies to be aware of. So we're already getting the answers to the test. We're already getting the guidance of like, watch for this because it's an access point. That's how universe, God, source, spirit co-creates with us all the time. Are we present to feel it and to answer it in a beautiful response? Okay, so back to the Leo Aries crisscross apple sauce. And basically, this is all about coming back to who we came in as. That pure spirit, that pure soul that hasn't been programmed, conditioned, swayed, morphed into what everything and everyone around us wanted, including the energies that are always being absorbed by us. So Leo is all about the inner child. It's about play. It's about sensuality, the sun, the light. It's about our hearts, courage, bravery. It's about standing on the stage of our life, it being creative, artistic, bold, bright. It's interesting because I actually was drawn to wearing my citrine today, which is a Leo crystal. It's bringing your courage and conviction to your life. And this sign is also about your actual children, the relationship with your children. So parents, this is a great time to really reevaluate, how are you subconsciously manipulating or projecting your wants, desires, and dreams for your own life onto your children. This sign is also about entrepreneurship. And that is so exciting to me because this really is the moment of new earth business. Y'all, it's not just us creating new earth business, it's us supporting new earth business and us living in the new earth way of offering our business in the world, which means it's feminine energetics with sacred masculine confidence. And that brings us to resting, receiving, downloading, integrating, transmitting, and doing it all in an aligned, active way from trust in the results, in our highest timeline, and in our deepest dreams and desires, and in our ability to move into the limitless potential and possibilities of our lives. So it is like full circle. We have to live it, not just think it. Now, let's go into this beautiful conjunction with the Aries energy. And Aries is all about the baby, the self, the physical body coming into the world. So it's the first sign of the zodiac. Before we've gone through all the energies of all the others and things that work and things that don't work, it's like the filterless one that just comes out onto the scene in full confidence, pioneering in new ways, creating, innovating, finding their way in independence and sovereignty while living in the deepest space of passion for themselves and for others. Like Aries will be your biggest cheerleader that you've ever had in your entire life. Like, let me know if you know what I'm talking about, because I am all kinds of Aries. And those of you that have worked one-on-one with me, you know that I am relentless about your potential and about the results that I know are possible. So this is the energy that we really have available to us from a heart-led life with full trust and confidence to go where we've never gone before. Now, Aries is also about the ego. So we've got to look at those different egos. There's a healthy ego, and there's certainly an unhealthy ego, and there's a learned ego. So we really want to find and activate that healthy ego, which is the deepest space of loving self-talk, of loving this body, of honoring and revering our choice to come here and do this and be the biggest catalyst of change, not only for our lives, but for the whole collective, by filling our own cup up first, by finding that sacred yes and truth within ourselves and living that, alchemizing it and emanating it. And this is about knowing our body, sensing our body, and being in tune with the body consciousness that is always guiding us, because we've gotten so used to being guided by our mind, and our mind is swimming in all the possibilities of failure, the what ifs, the comparison, judgment, the scarcity consciousness. But when we get into the body doesn't vibrate in that frequency. The body vibrates in feeling and guiding. Your body will not lie to you. Your mind will. So when these two energies come together, what I feel like you're really kind of culminating into right now, because it feels like it's becoming a pinnacle here, is that you're understanding when you were a child, those moments when you started to feel unseen, unheard, and unreferenced. And those are the moments where you started letting yourself mold and morph into what you thought was perfect, what you thought was going to be successful, what you believed would create the destination that was going to make it all better. All of this misalignment and disconnection that you were feeling, you kept going deeper and deeper into it, because that's what we started to learn in a forced culture, was doubling down instead of unentangling, releasing, and getting back to the soul, the spirit, and the feeling, and connecting with our true nature. which is this earth and earth medicine. I've got a podcast coming out about this, so stay tuned, get subscribed, because I am dropping a lot in the very near future. This is where I feel like we're going in the Leo Aries energy of these two eclipses. It's all about coming back to that inner child and re-experiencing the life, the expansion, the imagination, the visualization that that child truly had before it started getting smaller and smaller and more constricted and pushed away and poo-pooed by the people around them. So this is our moment to reignite all of that filterlessness, that confidence, that rawness, that desire, that belief, that imagination, the limitlessness in a child's world as the adults that we are. And these are going to be the new earth businesses. These are the skills and the sacred medicine that's meant to continue to open up further and further the more in alignment we are, that we share with each other. And that's how we come together as collectives and communities to really accentuate the whole, where everyone comes with different energies to bring the best of it all. And this is where we get hella responsive. We get so declared in how we're going to move forward in life. We have to be supporting creators, artists, local, small, independent business, and getting the money in the hands of all the conscious people, because those conscious people are going to continue to circle that money back into the communities where it's truly needed. That's how we start to correct these imbalances, these hierarchies, and this top-down power over structure. What do you think? Are you in? I'm in. Are you in? Let's pinky swear it out. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, especially about the Aries-Leo intersection, because it's all about fire, passion, drive. But as I get into the astrology chart, you're going to realize where we have some really great supportive energies here, where in our history of astrology, they could feel like repressive energies, but we need them with all of this fire and this passion and this masculine energy. We've got to tame it down to actually master it in a new way. So let's get into the chart so I can show you more. All right, y'all, here is the photo of the planetary lineup that will be visible to the naked eye when we are in totality. So it's very exciting. This is where the eclipse is going to be. So when the moon completely eclipses the sun and you see no more light, then you can take your eclipse glasses off. But as soon as that light starts coming through again, you've got to put those eclipse glasses back on. And so Mercury is going to be right here next to it. And that's going to be a little harder to see, but it's still possible. And here's where the Pons-Brooks comet is going to be. So you want to look up here where Jupiter is, because Jupiter is going to be the prominent planet that you're going to see the most. Uranus is behind here. You probably will not see Uranus, but Venus is another one that's going to be more likely that you'll be able to see. You won't see Neptune, but here it is. Saturn and Mars. You'll probably see Mars before Saturn, but if you look closely, you might be able to see both of them right there. So here's your heads up on where to look around the actual eclipse and check out all of this beautiful planetary magic. Okay, and here we are. I want you to notice all of these energies right here, because all of this Aries energy is cardinal. All of this Pisces energy is mutable, and all of this Taurus energy is fixed. We love that kind of balance in the modalities because it gives us this beautiful space where we're very diligent, we're very discerning, where we also take the action with the cardinal energy, but we're available for the flow and the shifts and the changes that want us to move in different directions so that we can start quantum leaping and collapsing timelines. Now let's get to all this Aries energy. So as you see here, this is the powerhouse of Chiron, the sun, and the moon all conjunct in Aries. So that's going to bring up wounds, old wounds in your life that probably began when you were a child about who you are, about how you were coming into the world. For example, when I was a kiddo, I was always told that I cried too much and I laughed too hard, that I wasn't balanced enough, that I was too extreme. And at one point, I was even diagnosed as bipolar. And that not only can be detrimental to a kid as creating a belief system about themselves, but it also tells us there's something wrong with us and that we have to stop being the way that we are in order to fit what's considered the norm or what's considered acceptable. So those wounds that came in very specific memories or in the way somebody talked to you or what an adult said to you will probably show up at this time. And again, make sure you have the right support system to move through them so that you can get to the root this time. Don't just placate yourself. Don't just make it feel a little bit better right now or numb yourself out from it. Really let yourself dive in this time because this is the invitation. And that's where you're going to find that liberation, the medicine, and the healing elixir on the other side. I've said it before, I'll keep saying it. We are now, which we always were, but now we are at a time that you have to have a community around you that holds you in unconditioned, that holds you in witness, and holds the belief of what's possible for you when you start transforming the internal struggles, the resistance, and the triggers, and the environment of your life. This is where my membership comes in, y'all. It is one of the most powerful memberships that I know that's out there. And it's also one of the most affordable memberships. I keep it that way for a reason. This is about clarity and very sacred medicine. So if you've been thinking about checking out my membership and being a part of an amazing circle of humans that are on this ride with you, that are a part of your cheerleading squad and team where you start to collapse those timelines, please click the link below. If it's not my membership, make it someone else's. These are in the investments of your life. These investments are what will scale and catapult every other area of your life. So I'm coming over to Mercury here. Don't worry about some of these. Just look at the ones that I'm sharing here. So Mercury's in retrograde. It's also conjunct. It's a little bit wider because it's 5 degrees. But this is why we love the retrograde this month, because Aries is also all about action, our will. It's ruled by Mars, and it can also be about our sexuality, where Leo can be about our sensuality. And this is where I feel like we're coming into a much higher understanding and empowerment of bridging the two and them becoming so unbelievably sacred. And this is going to be a part of where we're going in New Earth. There's no more separation and compartmentalization or judgment and shaming of our full expression. And then we've got a conjunct here with the North Node, which is where the eclipse comes in because the North Node is in Aries. This is our destiny. This is where we're going in life. And this is the vortex that's pulling us into what's possible in the highest expression of the Aries energy, which is the confidence, the independence, the filterlessness, the cheerleading and the passion, the full declared self, and the body as the conduit and connection. And how do we hold her, him, or them in reverence? Now, this I really want to highlight. So Saturn and Mars are conjunct in Pisces. So this is that mutable energy, and Pisces is the sign of spirit. It's boundlessness, it's limitlessness, it's artistry, it's full subconscious or super conscious connection. And Saturn and Mars are the two malefic planets. So they're coming together in the sign of Pisces to cause a little squeeze on that energy, to cause some restriction. And it's almost like restricting the action because Mars is the planet of action. Saturn wants to restrict or challenge something for us to become masterful at it. So this is where it's like a great time to just come fully within and feel what wants to be your reality in your spiritual self, your spiritual knowingness, your spiritual connection, and in your limitlessness, beyond rules, beyond boxes. Like, how can you be so boundless and so welcoming and open to your highest self, to your highest guidance team, to those co-creative energies, where you then come over to all of this Aries and move forward in confidence. But this is where we don't want to rush it. This is where we want to let ourselves receive and then respond, because Pisces is also in that receiving energy as a feminine water sign. If we all stopped reacting and we found our way to a soft nervous system and we responded from there, the world would change. Everything about the world would change. That, coupled with Tamaz Kel ceremonies, boom. That's it. That's all we need, y'all. I really believe those are two pillars of what would help us come so deeply back to the sacred truth and the ancient wisdom and that evolutionary knowledge that pulsates in our cells, that reminds us that we are here as love. And then let's come on over here to Uranus and Jupiter in Taurus. So this is going to be an exact conjunction on April 20th. And it's going to be big because Uranus is all about change. Jupiter's about expansion. Taurus comes back to those themes of relationship, values, resources, can be our money. It's our love, how we give and how we receive. And it's also about doing something well and about security. So you've got to find the security in the inner resources within yourself, because then you can move into the adaptability and resiliency and buoyancy that really will help you bounce to the thing that's super alive and vibrant for you, that's going to open new paths when you hold your highest timeline and your deepest dreams and desires as a truth, as a belief, and you let the how open to that co-creative energy. Okay, y'all, I know that that was a lot. How are you doing? Let me know in the comments. Do you feel like your brain's a little like, I'm just taking it all in? Is your heart taking it in? How's your body? Let's just take a deep breath together now. Let's activate the pineal gland, because that's going to be really big in where we're going. If you get into the daily hacks for raising your vibe, you're going to know about this. So let's take in a deep breath. Close your eyes and hold it at the top. Really expand it into the soles of the feet, the palms of your hands, the crown of your head. Sip in a little more air in your mouth. And now feel light generating from your root all the way up your spine to the crown of your head. Ding, 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 ding. Holding it, holding it. And when you release, sighing it out, softening into the body, integrating the light that you just generated in that one breath. Let's do it again. Deep breath in, soft jaw, soft shoulder, soft pelvic bowl. Really feeling that breath come all the way down to your pelvic bowl, to your creation energy, to your root. Sip in a little more air through your mouth now. And now feel the energy squeeze up from the base of your spine all the way up to your crown. There's a light that's generating ding, 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 ding up. It's like an elevator of light moving up. And when you're ready, sighing it out, letting go of anything that's not serving, letting go of any overwhelm, trusting that you're deeply taking in the knowledge and activations that are meant to unfold with you during this time. And opening your eyes and coming back. Now, that wasn't just an exercise or practice, that was a little test. Did you do it with me? Did you just allow yourself to get very present in the moment and believe that something was available to shift when you worked with this vessel, with this highest technology, with all of the innate medicine that we came in with? That's going to help you gauge how you're going to move through the big changes of this month that are going to continue to unfold and unravel from here. I'm all about those real-time examples and real-time results. If you've worked with me, you know. All right, let's grab a card read. Oh, P.S. Just FYI, after this huge month of April and all of these major changes and shifts and invitations into ascension, I am holding the biggest container I ever have in my community and in my medicine and in my world. It is an all summer long energy extravaganza. This will absolutely change lives. You will experience things that you've never known before, things that maybe you didn't even believe were possible. That's where I take you. That's my mission. That's my jam. So this is a 4-month mastermind container with a 4-night retreat experience. I am bridging, just like we are bridging heaven on earth, I am bridging the fabulous, unbelievable integrative results that happen in my longer mentorships and masterminds because of the real-time work that we do with any stickiness and entanglements and triggers that come up, with the accelerated ascension that happens at my retreats. This is where we go quantum. We activate all of the higher dimensional bodies of ourself and bring it here on earth. And then we continue the work in the mastermind. This will change your life. One summer, one sacred yes, and one commitment and declaration to knowing this will catapult you back into who you came to be, your brightest light, your deepest mission, and your birthright of thriving and living in joy no matter what's going down around us. It's called the Next Octave Mastermind and Retreat Experience Extravaganza. If you feel like this is for you, if your cells and your heart are sending you a signal right now, jump on a free discovery call with me. Let's feel it out together. Boom, that's it. Do you declare it? Or do you just let it swim in all of the roadblocks and limitations that aren't even yours? All right, here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That's the fire energy, y'all. Let's go. Ooh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I hope you have stuck around until now because this is an amazing card read. I love it. First card, clean it up, yo. Clean it up. This card's been coming through in the last few readings. So there's parts of your life that you need to clean up. You need to declare it because until you declare it, you're in a holding pattern. The energy is just swimming right here. And once you declare it, even with the challenge or the pain that you might need to move through, or the hurt or the grief that you might need to move through, you've already created more spaciousness and an opening in the energy. So now those frequencies are able to come and find you and match with you in a new way. This is where you've got to have a community or a mentor. This is the new way of life: retreating, mentorship, and community in your full, uninhibited self and light. Here we go. Here we go. What's coming up this month? Fork in the road. Fork in the road. I mean, where are you going to go? You choose. Are you going to keep doing the same thing, the same habit, the same pattern, the same resistance with a new condition, a new person, a new experience? You know, there's something that my dad said when I was young that sticks with me now. And when I notice these patterns in several of my friendships or experiences, and I'm trying to make it about them, I'm like, clearly this is about me. Clearly there's something here that I need to dive into and I need to explore. What's the common denominator here? It's me. So this is where we get radically accountable and we dive in. No more tiptoeing around, no more bypassing, no more fear of the unknown. When you feel fully supported around you with any of those types of communities that I shared before, this is exciting. This is where you're a full yes, and you cannot wait to move through the transformation, get to the root, because you know how expansive it is on the other side. This is where my retreats absolutely go, and my masterminds. I'm just saying, if you want a summer like none other, one that changes everything for you, this is the summer. If not now, when? Honestly, all we have is right here, right now. If not now, when? And that takes me to the final card of loyal heart. Here's that Leo energy coming in with the Aries. The loyal heart is the loyal heart to yourself, to the mission that you said yes to the body that you said, that's the vehicle I want to go through these experiences with. All of them, all of the different iterations of it, all of the different changes of it, all of the different looks of it, all of the different feelings of it. This is the loyal heart, first and foremost, because when you have such a clear alignment with yourself, when you love yourself deeper than anything you've ever loved, that's when it emanates out to everything and everyone. And that's when you don't have to convince anyone of anything. It literally becomes who you are. It is your energy. So y'all, this is time for you to check in with your sovereignty, your environment, your heart, your alignment, and where does it need to be cleaned up? And how deeply are you going to invest here and now in yourself with all of your resources, not just one, with all of them? I love you. This is a monumental time, and I will definitely be back with more videos this month of support. So please, if you have felt held, witnessed, and loved through these messages, let me know below in the comments. Hit that like button and share this video with someone you love. And until next time, don't forget to keep looking up.